Hi, my name is Dr. Corey Mikolas, and I'm the superintendent of the Seaford School District. And what we like to do as a district is create some videos just to update the community about some of the procedures that we are following as we begin our reopening plans for school for the fall. And today, episode 1 of our video, we're going to feature Mr. Doug Henry, who is our coordinator of buildings and grounds. So welcome, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, sir.
And if you could just tell the community, based on some of the work you've been doing, meetings you've attended, what's some of the guidance that you've been receiving in regards to reopening schools in the fall?
Yeah, some of the guidance that we're getting is basically the social distancing, the mask wearing, etc., stuff like that. And so basically what we've done is gone into our facilities, looked at our current setup and evaluated that and also looked at our current custodial expectations sheets and stuff like that, and addressed some of those and to adjust everything to the COVID recommendations on that sheet.
So I assume you're really taking a look at some of the CDC guidelines for what's coming out?
Everything that we're putting together right now, we're going either by the CDC guidelines or EPA approvals. Yes.
So thinking about the summer, we have a few weeks left here before the start of the school. What do you envision some of the training for staff and custodians looking like?
Basically, we're going to develop some checklists. So it's basically to be a classroom checklist, a restroom checklist, stuff like that. Something for them to have some guidance to go by, and also something for us to monitor as supervisors, as to making sure that things are cleaned and disinfected on a timely basis as they should.
So I'm sure that a lot of your work this summer had to be around purchasing, whether masks, etc. Can you just talk about some of the purchases you've made?
Yes, we've purchased electrostatic sprayers, 10 of those for the district. And what those basically do is they take the disinfect that we use, the EPA approved disinfects that we use to disinfect the furniture, high touch points, stuff like that. These sprayers will basically go out, and so we go into the room, mist the room, electrostatically the chemical actually then wraps around the legs, the bottom of the chairs, all of the high touch points, which cuts down time. We can basically do about 5,000 square feet in probably roughly around 5 minutes.
Wow.
So that will help us out with that. That along with our typical day-to-day cleaning that we'll do, and our disinfection on top of it. So we're basically coming out and revamping the expectation sheets for custodians to step up to what the CDC and EPA has recommended.
Was it hard finding masks and hand sanitizer?
We actually got out in front of it. Pricing wise, we were able to basically get it lowered quite a bit because we were out in front of the whole thing with the hand sanitizer especially. Masks have been, we were able to do the same thing, and we're currently working on some gloves. We actually have some ordered, but we're ordering on some more just for our custodial staff, nurses, stuff like that.
So based on a lot of your purchases, you made sure you've covered areas such as for staff, students, nurses' offices, custodial staff.
We've covered every support, basically every support staff that's out there. So it's nutrition services, we've ordered face shields, etc. for those guys, and gloves. Our custodial staff, nurses, and even going into as far as our students, we've gotten masks for our students. We've even gotten the child-sized face mask for kids that are actually the younger kids, which are probably K through 3, and an adult-sized face mask, which is they'll receive a mask one per day of attendance. And then our staff is basically going to have 2 cloth masks, so they could launder one and then wear one.
Okay.
For that.
So we know that we'll have community members, families, and also staff who they're going to want to know, how are we going to ensure that our buildings are clean?
Right.
So what are some of the protocols we'll have in place?
Well, like I said, we'll be following the checklist very strictly. So basically what'll happen is the custodians will have these checklists on their carts. The checklist for the restrooms will be hanging outside the restroom, adjacent to the door. And those will be, so the principals or administration, custodial supervisors can walk through the building and just monitor when those restrooms were clean last and what the current condition of them are at the time. The custodial checklist, as far as that goes, will go onto their cleaning cart. There will be one per room. They will actually sign off on that, and the supervisors, the custodial chiefs, will actually pick it up the next morning from that cart, and then we'll keep that on file.
So I know it's been a busy summer for you and your staff just preparing for the reopening of schools, so I do want to publicly thank all of our custodial staff for the work you guys have done preparing us for the fall. So community, that is our first episode of our reopening school videos, and we'll continue these videos with other areas of our district just to communicate with you our reopening plans. Thank you.